Well, so guys, I
Aren't those
know
supposed to be the
everybody's
same?
been waiting. You guys are thinking, we got letters and shutdown notices, and no, it hasn't happened yet, but the day is still young, so we'll see where we go. Uh, I'm driving, I'm in Iowa,
Are you
driving
the
back.
passenger?
No, I'm pulled over, but,
Okay.
I got in my first accident in 24 years. I was so embarrassed. And it's so stupid because I was in a parking lot at the hotel, and I came back for lunch from doing an on-site to do some calls, and then I was going to go back to the office, and there's just a pole on the right side, and it was a clear pathway, and I just pulled up, and all of a sudden I just heard fucking crunch and fucked everything on the right side of this car. And I was like so scared driving home because I don't know anything about cars. I'm that guy. Like, I, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to fucking fix anything. I was just talking to a client about
Was it
this. Like,
your car or a rental?
it's my wife's car. Cause I don't really drive. And so then I had to do that call last night, and I was like hoping that she was going to be like, "Oh, how are you?" But no, she was just fucking over it. And the first thing she thought was, were you drunk or high?" That's of course like the first. She's like, and I'm like, "No, you know me. If I'm drunk or high, I don't drive. That's one thing about me. I never fucking do that shit. Stupid." But yeah, did my last final on site. It was one of my favorites. And here's an interesting thing, Melba. Dinner with
Tell
Doc
me.
is fucking back.
I saw that.
It's 55
There's a
fucking
lot of
people.
people there
55 people. I think 11 or 13 people signed up. It was awesome.
because people
This
are
isn't,
hungry right now.
people are hungry. And we did one in Aspal Clinic a couple weeks ago, LaGrange, Georgia. Big show rate. People want to get out. And I think it's also because they want to get out. They're in such information overload, decision mode before even getting into the office and doing an offer or a low barrier offer. I think that it's becoming, this is the pathway. Well, let's check these guys out and let's learn from them first. But there's no better way of selling than group selling. It's the most efficient way to sell. So, there's always a risk
It's
when you
just
put,
doing it live instead of on Facebook.
yeah, but people, I mean, it was great interaction. And, uh, I don't know if you're seeing this across the board, like with your people, but like the world wants to get well. They're really the people of Walmart, as I call them. You know what I'm talking. I mean, you all have the people of Walmart patients. They're the greatest chiropractic patients when they become patients. But the ones that have been on medication after medication, the ones that have been told there's no hope, they're finally the last ones waking up going, screw that. There's got to be something else. And it's exciting to see that. It was exciting to be in this clinic with very spizzed up practice and people crying about their results. And I had a guy who had, Dylan, who is just one of the most handsomest chiropractors in the world. So it's so easy for him. But he's also just, he's a spizzed up dude. And he had a guy, he goes, this is a great story. He went door knocking. Dylan does a yearly annual event called Grillin' with Dylan. And they just did the 10th or 11th one last summer, and there's over 400 people that show up, and it's 2 hours on a Friday in June, and they sell and sign up people, and everyone eats great barbecue, and it's fun. Well, the first year he was doing this, he went door knocking. And I go, Dylan, you know how much I fucking love this? You went door knocking. And he goes, this guy knocked on his door. I told him, I'm not here to sell you anything. I just want to invite you to a barbecue. The guy showed up 13 years later. He's been a lifetime patient.
It's awesome.
And he had just quit his job to start his own business, and he was just lit up, and he's lost like 30 pounds. He's also doing some of their nutritional stuff in the office. He's done everything they've ever had. He did whatever they say he does. So I go, hey, would you do a video testimony with me? He goes, absolutely. So I said, tell me a story about you working with Doc. And he just started bawling
Mm,
about how much it changed his life.
that's awesome.
And we had about 2 or 3 other criers, and we had about 50 video testimonials, case studies, social proof. His young doc, Dr. Andrew, who's his associate, came out and goes, man, number one, honesty proves you just got to ask. If you just ask, people will do things. I mean, not everyone said
True.
yes, but the 90% were like, yeah, I don't care, cool.
Most people want to help.
Most people want to help, dude. This is the thing that I don't think any of you guys get enough of you don't get your titties rubbed enough. Your ego's rubbed enough. You like, everyone needs a rub out every now and
It's so funny.
you guys deserve it and
Because we're
need it.
supposed to be so selfless, right? Like, we're supposed to be like that, but it's funny, I had a thought about this actually the other day about selflessness, and it happened after I went to a networking meeting, and somebody says, "Who's gonna take care of the people that you take care of if you don't take care of yourself?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I used it that day in the networking thing, but it just makes me reflect even more on ourselves as givers, providers and whatnot. Like, it's okay to take care of you and to worry about you. Just
You
like
do.
if everybody else can be told, well, you should worry more about you, then you have the ability to worry about you too.
It's a I don't think you guys talk about a lot of certain things that I think should be talked about more. One being the amazing results that you guys are getting, the continual amazing results that people get. And I don't think you guys realize how much patients feel that they are, and now they're not going to say I'm going to pay you more, but they feel like they're stealing from you
They're
with the
getting
work that
value.
yeah, the value that you guys deliver. And so there's more asks to be made. There's more referral asks. And so that was proved. But like Dr. Andrew, the young doc who's associated with him, is like, man, this is a wake up call today of like, how impactful we are. The other thing and this comes back to your self-care thing, I remember a young doc when I first started getting back in Cairo Sushi, and he calls me and goes, I have a suicidal patient. And I'm like, what? And I called my dad afterwards. I go, do you ever have suicidal patients? He goes, all the time. I go, why don't you talk? He goes, they're in chronic pain. What do you, he's like acting like I'm an idiot, like classic Tim Schaub. I'm an idiot because I'm asking a question about like, why haven't you told me about this? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, why don't you guys talk about this? Like,
It reminds me of a conversation I had once when I was in school. My classmate, Chris Cochran, what's up if you're out there? He's like, "Oh, Melissa, it's common sense." And I'm like, "Dude, it's common sense to us.
yeah,
It doesn't mean it's like common sense to everybody else."
it's so Dr. Dillon had a patient come in, and I love Austin Cohen. I got to give credit because he does this he teaches this and he does this in his clinics. They do a thing called the little bag of sunshine. And it's basically it's a little bag. They do a brown bag with like some lip balm and candies and just some goodies. And it's for the front desk to go and say when they have someone who's come in, and every clinic I've been in, there's been one a day of something like Dylan had to have like, I came in to do a video, so I'm ghosting behind them. And then the standard process was they would say, hey, we got our buddy Tristan from Indianapolis here. He's doing some marketing and education stuff. Do you mind if he documents this visit? And I'm coming in to do the next one. And I just hear, I don't know how I even made it here today, doctor. Melissa died. And the amount of weight that you guys put on are the weight that you carry, not just from their pain physically, but also becoming a guide in their life, a person, authority of trust, an expert, a friend, a peep, as I call
Counselor.
it, to go through, one a day. And, people that are miserable at times, the amount of energy and like, fuck, dude, do you have to like cleanse I mean, what do you do to because I would just do cocaine. I would just do cocaine after if it was me. I would just be like, I need a dopamine hit. What's better than that? What do you do to when because
That's
this is
hilarious.
normal for you, right? You get this shit every day.
Well, I think honestly, and then for me, I just spend a lot of alone time when I'm not with patients.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like to do things that don't require a lot of thought when I'm not with my patients.
So you detach.
I might do a yard project or just sit on the back porch and look at the forest and listen to the sound of nature, or I don't even know, read the news, crack out on Facebook or whatever, like everybody else does sometimes, because it takes a lot of mental energy to deal with people's emotional things and the physical contact and all the things and talking all day long and, being the bright light for all the people. You sometimes just have to have that downtime. So, you just don't talk.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see Dr. Dillon went into a headspace. He had a personal thing came up. They have a big family. He's hosting his brother came in who was in an auto accident. That was hilarious because his brother was just giving him shit, telling him how the PT is so much better than him. But they have something else going on in their family, and news kind of broke before his second shift in the afternoon. And he had his wife called him. He said, Not and I thought, he goes, and Tristan heard me. He goes, he couldn't hear anything negative. He goes, I'll deal with it after I'm done. And I was like, dude, fucking power on you, dude. Like that's how that's what you need to do. And I remember my dad, was like that, where you couldn't adjust. I mean, he was so present, what
Present time
time, time.
consciousness, it's a
Yeah.
Parker principle.
Yeah. That
Present time consciousness.
you deal with the shit afterwards, right? But you got to be present for your people, and they realize that. And so, yeah, I mean, to everyone out there, you guys are give your fucking self a tip of the cap, and just, you got to acknowledge these at times. Like, this is why doing things like video testimonials is not just great for content. You guys need to hear this and get that validation back, because it's not always going to be there in the money. It should be. But yeah,
Well, not
dude,
all things that make us happy are tangible.
no. But
In fact,
speaking of
probably
Tim
most of the things that make us happy aren't tangible.
Speaking of Tim Schaub, I'm gonna go see him in a couple of days. I'm gonna go get adjusted by my dad for the first time in
Good for
years.
you.
He's gonna be in. This motherfucker is living the life. They're like, so tell your dad is in Mexico, and then he comes back every 3 months, and he sees, hey, he has 150 people waiting for him, and he takes care of them, and he goes back down to Mexico and comes back in 3 months and does it again.
That's
It's awesome.
awesome.
We're taking the kids to Excurate. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's a Cancun resort for families, and water and jungles, and
That's cool. You should send it to me because we're going to be planning one soon with Jill and his daughter and their grandkids.
I'm trying to get the wife to go to Temptations. I want to go to Temptations in
You ain't
Cancun.
bringing your kids to that.
No, I don't think kids are allowed there. She has not said yes to Temptations, and I just want to go to I just want to go to People Watch and see what happens, because, like, the fact that there is like sex club orgies going on at Cancun resorts, and, like, I don't want to join in with anyone.
Not aware of this.
You don't know? Oh, that's what Temptations is.
It's like interesting. Just a bunch of
Temptations.
swingers on a resort.
It is swingers on resort, and it is party all the time, and probably syphilis and HPV everywhere. So I'm just so we'll never, I
That
never.
sounds like I would want to go to that if you're going to sell it that way.
Well, I mean, you got to take the
I
good
don't
and the
think any
bad.
woman would want to go to it selling it that way. You got
She's
to
no
figure out how to sell
fun.
it better.
She's no fun. She doesn't want to do anything fun on that side. I'm like, come on, let's just People Watch. She
That's
doesn't
hilarious.
want to share me. No,
Well, that's the thing about being married. You're not supposed to share after that.
I think
I mean, in my mind.
I know.
Obviously, people don't agree with that.
I don't know. Hey, if that's you, that's cool out there. But I just fuck around. It's just like to drive my wife crazy.
I know.
But we're gonna go. I'm more excited about taking the kids. The kids are in the last season of, like, being young kids. Now they're moving
How old
into.
are they?
They're 11, so they're gonna be 12 next year. So, and it's already shifted. They're bro and bra and all this shit. But what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
You have to watch them grow up.
I
What are we
know.
doing? Hanging out, dude. I'm gonna go to a Friendsgiving on Saturday though. Nothing on the other days. How about yourself?
Wait, I want to hear about this Friendsgiving, dude. Because everyone's doing. I have never yet in my life, because I don't have friends, because people don't like me. I never have been invited to a Friendsgiving.
Well, Friendsgiving is for people that don't have family nearby
Okay, so does everyone get just drunk?
or that don't go to their family.
Yeah. Is it the same? Like, you do turkey, you do all the shit?
No, she's gonna actually she's gonna make chili and she's gonna do a potluck because that's also like not on Thanksgiving. So I know that Life always does student Thanksgiving, so my husband likes to go to that. Sometimes I go with him, but sometimes he might have some people here. It's always like a last minute thing since my family's in Colorado, his family's in other places as well. So
Are you a traditional Thanksgiving? Like, is it like, no?
I like turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes, and in my later years in life, I certainly learned to love some stuffing until I learned that I was allergic to gluten. But you can make gluten-free stuffing, and I'm so glad to have discovered that because I feel like everything that I learned to love that has gluten in it, I didn't discover. I discovered like a year before I had found out I couldn't do gluten, like blue cheese, can't do that.
Jesus, dude.
I know, I know. You know why I think that I have allergies? I make bad jokes and say it's because God punished me for being an asshole when I was younger.
Well, how much are you an asshole? Seriously.
I was a Total asshole.
What
Very
what
asshole.
defines an asshole? Because my wife says I'm an asshole. What is your definition of an asshole? Because we have to define chiropractic, apparently. Chiropractic must be defined unless I keep saying chiropractic is everything. But what is the definition of what's an asshole? How were you an asshole?
Well, I'll put it like this. I was an angry person for a long time, and I didn't know how to manage my anger very well. And I don't get angry anymore,
Did you beat
thanks to
up
lots of
people?
therapy. No, no,
What'd you do? Come
no.
on, let it out.
I just don't think I was a very nice person looking back. That's all I can say, you
Everyone,
know?
to men, to women, to family, to you were just
Probably total narcissist,
you think you were a narc?
I think possibly, but I think at some
Can
point
a
all of us think
narc
that.
narcissist reform?
I don't know, so that's why I don't think maybe I'm not.
I don't think you're a narcissist, dude.
I appreciate that. I try not to
I
be.
I'm pretty well versed with the last couple of years of being around a real narcissist. So like,
Yeah, exactly, right? So I don't know. It's like one of those things. Why bring up the past when you don't need to? Because it already happened, and you learn your lessons, and you move on from it, and you just live a better life from those lessons. So
that's boring. Come on.
I know I'm so boring.
I
That's why you need me.
I think there's a layer of, I don't call it assholism, but it's like there is things I learned from assholes that now I understand why they did certain things and came across like assholes because this goes back to your self-care thing, like protecting yourself and protecting your
That's true.
time.
I
So
get
there's
that.
could be misconstrued as an asshole.
I had a girl when we were adults. You know how when you're young and you like don't talk and then you like are mature because you're older and your brain is developed all the way. She told me that she always thought I was a mean girl. And I'm like, that's funny. I always thought you were a mean girl too.
See,
But I never thought I was a mean girl. But
that's
apparently
like
I
that
was.
episode of 30 Rock, and Tina Fey goes back to her high school reunion and she's like, I hated it. Everyone was mean to me. And it turned out she was the actual fucking bully. Everyone was like, every time we tried to do something with you, you responded with some condescending remark and you told us how stupid we were and all this stuff. And so that's why, it's interesting perception, right? Like no one's a mind reader. That's why clear definitions, boundaries, and expectations are so important.
Well, and when we're young, though, when we're young, we're so self-absorbed too. Like, I don't even think we have the capacity to truly think about other people until we're older than 25, when our brain has been totally matured.
Do you think the same thing happened? Like, I'm thinking about my dad. Obviously, I'm going down, and when I talk about my dad with other people, I was telling Dr. Dillon, we got in the hot tub last night. He has a hot tub he's very proud of. And I understand why he's proud of the hot tub because it's one of those things. And his wife was just giving him shit. And I was giving him shit. I go, did he ask everyone to go in the hot tub? She goes, everyone wants to go. No one wants to go in the hot tub. I go, I'll go in the hot tub for you, Dylan. Like, let's get in the hot tub. Let's smoke a cigar and get in the hot tub, have a cocktail and shit talk. And I was telling the story of my dad getting bit by the brown recluse spider. And Sisyphus used to call him the Spider Man when he would see
Oh
him
my God.
because he got so. My dad went through some weird transformations. He was a big guy, chunky, chubby, still pulled ass though.
What?
Yeah, he was a big motherfucker, like in the 80s, like
He was like a straight Cairo.
he was fat. Yeah, he was like a D doc, but still pulled ass and still did his thing and charmed and then he had his like kind of midlife crisis. What am I doing with my life? Why am I married to my mom? Which no one I'm still like, what the fuck? But he went into bodybuilding. Then he got weird. Like those weird bodybuilders of the 90s chiropractors. Like, those guys, they wear their fanny packs and shit like that. He actually did like some shows and bodybuilding shows.
I could totally see your dad with a fanny pack.
And yeah, and then he got bit by, so he was in best shape, best health of his life, got bit by a brown recluse spider. And I just remember him just deteriorating and we didn't understand he developed neuropathy and diabetes and all this other stuff. And there's a
Oh my
time
God.
when I was like 19 or 20 and I picked him up he at his office and brought him to a hotel he was staying at. Here's a guy who built I was telling Dylan, multi-million-dollar practice, had a consulting group, went through. This is the whole story of why we called it Chiro Sushi. Because when we were doing the thing together, he was like, I want to call it Schwab Chiropractic Principles. I'm like, that's fucking lame and boring. Like, dude, you've been millions. You've had fur coats and Cadillacs and Mercedes and, owning the best and penthouse Waldorf, and you maybe slept with Jim Parker's mistress in Miami on the beach, and like you were awesome, and then you got weird and you became a bodybuilder, and then you got sick and you went bankrupt and you dated strippers. I go, you're the circle, you're raw, you're real, you're like sushi, you're Cairo sushi. And
That's awesome.
so like it was when, and the reason I bring this up is because that youthness you were talking about, one of the things I think, one of the greatest things that happened to my dad was actually getting, like, I think he was a flying 80s doc, and did his thing, and innate's going to happen. And he helped a lot of people, but he didn't become the guy like, David Fletcher is like the guy at the table, like those old guys that when they're around, you're just watching them do their wizardry, right? And he didn't become that until he got sick, because when he got sick, he actually knew what he realized what chiropractic really was and the gift that he had. And then he went and got AO and network Cairo, and he wrote this book about the fact, don't give up on like, about everything. There's network, there's Gonstead, there's all these things. Like if one chiropractor doesn't help you, don't give up on chiropractic, right? And
Amen.
so one of the things I always say, and Dylan himself has gone through some stuff, I don't think you become the best version of the chiropractor until you've either personally dealt with something on the health side, or someone close to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and the reality too is it makes you more compassionate, and it lets you know that you're not like Superman either, that you're also human, and it makes you relatable,
Yes.
and that's all that there is to it. I mean, even my husband, dude, he also, all the chiropractic stories that you even think about what he has, that's why his message is so strong also. Us having
Yeah.
those experiences, us using the same principles, to overcome and thrive, that helps us spread that message more because we're also living proof.
Yeah. Dude, well, I'm gonna do Thanksgiving in Mexico. You're gonna do
Yay. Are you guys
Friends.
gonna have turkey? Are you gonna do American Thanksgiving or
No, I
Mexican
think we're
Thanksgiving?
going to some restaurant where we'll go, where my dad will order everything for everyone so that he can have a little bit of everyone's thing. That's a classic Tim Shaw move. My wife sent him a text. Do we need to have any prepared for dressing? No. He wrote back. It's casual, but I will still be the best dressed person
Of
there.
course he will. Of course he will.
He will, and he'll let everyone know, and he'll make people. I remember going to a Christmas party once with my dad, and he went to a Christmas party, and I was at the house, and he came back, and he had to come. He goes, everyone told me I was the best dressed.
Like somebody I know.
I remember when I was a kid, the suits, man, and he had one purple suit. I mean, just
First time I met your daddy had a purple shirt,
he
a
lo-
suit on.
and and there's pictures of me people can find for the first, because the whole Cairo sushi thing was kind of like, bringing back Parker from the old days, the love and all that stuff, but redefine, like bringing in cool new business people. And my dad really, really wanted to, like, he was so adamant about dressing me for like that week. And so, I never
I have
wear
a
a suit.
question about that then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is he the one that picked out the short shorts and the tall socks
No, that
and the
was
white
me.
t-shirt?
No, he hated that.
Because that was your best look of the weekend.
That was the after party for the Wet Hot American Summer. That was all
I
me.
know. That
The
was fun.
the Steve Harvey fucking
Oh my
pimp
God.
suits, and I remember him having a purple Steve Harvey pimp suit in the 90s, and
He
him
still
putting it on.
does.
He's tailored a little bit more, and it's not as big, but he does have those. In his world, those I don't even know, are they double breasted or triple? What are those suits? Are they like they're big? The
Full
big,
breasted. Yeah.
like, in his world, they never went out of style.
That's baller for him. That's baller right there.
So he shops at like pimp stores. I'm serious. That's where he buys some of his
I
fucking.
believe you. I believe you. I get it. Your dad is a pimp though.
He is so fucking smooth.
He could totally pass as a pimp too. Like, just that old stereotypical movie guy.
He totally fucking could, and it wouldn't surprise me. My
He's a
dad's
Jay-Z song.
he the strippers fucking loved my dad back in the strippers loved my fucking
Well,
dad.
now I understand your fascination with strippers.
Well, anyone, I had a fascination with strippers because of Howard Stern, and then like
So
it's
who
just
had the strippers that you found out first, your dad or Howard Stern? Which one was your first influence?
my dad.
Boom, like I
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
Yeah, my role model showed me strippers.
Well, I remember going to strip club with my dad for the first time, and I was like, I'm never doing that again.
'Cause that was your moral brain trying to, like, deal against your man brain?
That was just fucking weird and awkward, and I just was like, "No, that was not on the bucket that was not supposed to be on the bucket list."
Oh my god, and yet it imprinted on you for the rest of your life.
But my dad's cool. Everyone
Your
thinks
dad
I'm
is cool.
everyone thinks I'm a fucking I can barely smoke. If I smoke pot, I fucking usually get paranoid. I like to hit a vape pen every now and then when people have it passed around and I'm already like tipsy on drug or I did a little bit of bump or something like that. But he's one of the guys that also can just fucking smoke fucking joint after joint after joint after joint and just fucking be fucking cool. like still, he's also a great dancer. So that other people don't know, but
I believe that.
he was a
Your
great
dad's
dancer.
a fun guy.
Yeah, so we'll have fun with him. Listen, you guys out there have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend, and make sure if you're doing Black Friday deals, don't be a pussy. Fucking do real Black Friday deals. Like, be aggressive out there. I'm seeing a lot of people putting some stuff together. That's interesting. More people doing Black Friday deals than ever.
You're talking about selling them or buying them?
Selling them in the chiropractors out there. So if you're gonna do it big. Like it's gotta stand out. Like you gotta do like dollar deals, like something like crazy. Cause it's
Dude, I
about
just
me.
had a digital marketer threw a crazy low ball for Black Friday. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So, you should do that. Eat a lot of food.